Okay, so in the previous lesson, we cloned a bare repository to our computer and we put that inside a .git folder within a project directory called portfolio, which is where I am now. So if we run the ls command with the a flag to list the contents, then we should see that .git folder. And when we cloned this bare repo, Git didn't create a default work tree for us, so there's no project code here yet. And what I want to do now then is make some work trees so I can start working on new features or bugs or whatever else. The way we're going to approach this then is by creating work trees within the project folder adjacent to the .git folder. Now the first work tree that I might make is one for the main branch as a reference, a bit like having a default work tree but in its own folder called main. And I probably wouldn't ever use that work tree or branch for working directly in the code, but I could use it to pull the most recent version of main down occasionally and view the code in its current state. Then if I wanted to work on a new feature, I could make a new work tree called feature ABC or whatever the feature was called. And inside that work tree, we'd have a new branch checked out for that feature. If I wanted to switch focus and start working on a bug, I could just create another work tree called bug XYZ and check out a new branch inside the work tree to work on it. And all I'd be doing then is switching between these different directories to work on different branches when I needed to. Won't need to stash, won't need to make any commits I don't want to. Then once I've pushed and merged a branch into main on GitHub, I could pull down that latest version of main into this main work tree to keep everything up to date. And the reason I like this approach personally is because we're keeping all the work trees, the bare repo, together inside a single project directory. So I feel like it's more organized this way to easier manage all the different work trees. But anyway, let's try doing something like this in our project folder. So then I'm already in the portfolio project folder, and within this all we have is the .git folder for the bare repo for now. And now I want to make a new work tree for the main branch first of all, just so we have the main work tree as a reference and we can use it when we need it. To do that then we can type git worktree add. And since we're already on the main branch, we don't need to specify a new branch to check out or anything. We just need a directory path for the work tree, which is going to be inside a folder called main within this current directory. So we can just say /main to do that and then hit enter. All right, so that's going to create a new work tree for us. And if we run the ls command now, we should see that new main directory. If we cd into that directory, we can run ls again. And then we should see all the project files. Okay, so like I said, I don't typically work inside this work tree and I mainly use it to pull down the latest version of main and use it for reference. But now then, I want to cd back into the parent project directory and make a new work tree to work on maybe a feature or something. So let's do that. And we're going to type the command git worktree add. And this time we do need the B flag to check out a new branch for this work tree, and I'm going to call that feature ABC. Doesn't really matter what it's called. After that, we need the path to the work tree, which is going to be /feature-ABC, the same name as the branch, and then we can just hit enter. Okay, so now if we run ls, we should see both a main folder and the feature ABC folder, one for each work tree. And if we cd into the feature-ABC work tree, we should see that we get switched to the feature ABC branch. So I could just start working on this feature now inside this work tree. So let me run the ls command and then open up an HTML file. It doesn't really matter which one. Then make a change and then save it. So that now we've got an uncommitted change on the branch. And if we run the git status command, we should see the uncommitted change. All right, so now let's imagine we need to quickly switch to another branch for a hotfix or something. So what I would do now then is probably cd out of this feature work tree back into the parent project folder and then create a new work tree from here. Now, I don't technically need to cd out of that directory that I was in. I could have made the new work tree directly from that feature work tree, but this is just something I do to avoid adding the new work tree where I shouldn't, or using the head location within that work tree to base the new branch on, just in case I had extra commits on that feature one. And again, you can specify which branch to use as a base for the new work tree, but I just find this approach easier. So then, I'm going to make a new work tree now by typing git worktree add, followed by the B flag to switch to a different branch, a new one, which I'm going to call hotfix 123 or something. And then we need the path for that new work tree, which is going to be the same name as the branch, so /hotfix-123. All right, so now once we've done that and we run the ls command, we should see that new folder. Also, we could run the git worktree list command right now as well. And when we do that, we should see 3 different work trees we added. One for the main, the feature one, and now the hotfix one. Anyway, let's cd into the hotfix 123 directory now. And when we do that, we should automatically get switched to the hotfix branch as well. Okay, so now we can make some kind of change in this work tree. So let me list out the contents first of all, so we can see the files. And then I'm just going to open up the README file right here and make a quick change to that file. Doesn't really matter what. And then we can save the file. So after that, we might want to make a commit and push this hotfix branch up for merging into main. So let me just quickly do that by typing git commit, and then we're going to use the A flag to add the change to staging plus the M flag for a commit message, which can just be something like update readme. All right. And then we can hit enter to make that commit. Now, after that, we can push the branch up by typing git push origin and then hotfix -123, which was the branch name. And then we can hit enter. All right, and on the repo, we can see that new branch has been pushed up. We can make a pull request by coming down here, add a description if you want. I'm going to create the pull request, and then we can merge once these checks are done. Let's merge it right here, confirm the merge, and then we could also delete the branch from the remote repo as well. Okay then, so now we've worked on that hotfix, we've made a commit, pushed the branch up and merged it into main. So we could now delete this local hotfix work tree by coming back into the parent directory first of all, and then using the command git worktree remove, followed by the path of the work tree that we want to delete, which is just ./hotfix -123. After that, I might also want to update this repo to incorporate that newly updated main branch, which I could do in a couple of ways. We could run a git fetch right here, or we could cd into the main work tree, which is what I'm going to do, and run a git pull, which is going to pull down that updated main branch right here, and also update the git repo with all the remote refs and whatnot. And if I wanted to now, I could just go ahead and carry on working on whatever feature I was working on before. So then, that's an example workflow that I might use when I'm working with Worktrees. And for me, if I'm needing to work on multiple branches at once, I find it much easier this way using Worktrees than constantly stashing changes or making commits that I don't really want to make. Anyway, hopefully you can see now how helpful Worktrees can be in a standard development workflow. And in the next lesson, I'm going to explain why they're being used quite frequently now in AI workflows as well.